Yeah, Lippy, you can go ahead.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to the second session of today. Yes, yes, ma'am. Sorry, there was some network error. So, good afternoon once again. Welcome to the second session of today is GSBTM PGBT CBC E-Crash Workshop course. Our guest speaker for today is Dr. Darshan Marjade, Associate Professor in Biotechnology from Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Computer Education and Applied Sciences, Surat. Dr. Marjadi has a teaching experience of more than 15 years. He has around 32 research papers to his credit and has successfully completed 3 research projects. He's been the PhD guide to a number of students and as well as an MSc dissertation guide for MSc students. He's also been the coordinator of BT-CBC for around 5 years and for PG BT-CBC for 1 year. Dr. Darshan is the coordinator of Dumas Beach Project Development Project of MOEF, and today he is joining us for his session of bioprocess and fermentation technology. I welcome you, sir, and I request you to take over the session and deliver your lecture.
Fine. My voice is audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Thank you very much, Lippy madam, Darshi madam, Elizabeth madam, all the staff member of Navratna University, as well as GSBTM for providing this opportunity to interact with the students, specifically postgraduate student for the purpose of CSIR-NET competitive examination. Fine. Well, students, I'm sure that you all are aware with this word, and that particular word basically that is known as a bioprocess and fermentation technology. Before beginning a discussion of a topic, I'm sure that you all are aware with the fundamental concept that what exactly bioprocess and what exactly fermentation is. I would like to start the discussion by other way, by considering a fact, what is the meaning of a word technology? What is the meaning of a word technology? I would like to know from you people that what do you mean by word technology? And what exactly fermentation is? I would like to start the discussion by other way.
Practical application of knowledge.
Fine, very good, very good. Very good answer. That you are defining that particular bioprocess technology. It is basically known as a practical, you are defining a technology as a practical application of knowledge. Wonderful answer that I was expecting from you people. Fine. Moving further, now before we discuss any kind of a topic, we must aware in our mind that what exactly that topic is, what are the points which are involved in the topic. That means we need to know the background. Background means we must aware with what, how, where, why, when, and who. We require to understand this particular phenomena, right? When you talk about the any kind of entrance examination, at that particular time, the words should be clear in your mind. And unless and until you are not clear with the concept, you are not able to justify whatever the questions which are going to appear in front of you for the particular examination. Fine. So we'll begin this particular journey. I hope you all are ready. Are you ready with this? Everyone? Are you ready with this? I require the response. Whether you are in a Zoom, whether you are on a YouTube, I require the response from you people because I like the interactive session, right? It should not like that I am going to talk one way. It should be interactive session. Then only the purpose of a GSBTM is going to solve the purpose which has been discussed by the Darshi madam, and whatever the pain your university is taking, it should be solved. Thank you very much, all of you, Janvi, Anupurna, Shweta, Jigisha. Thank you all. Fine. So we'll try to begin this particular journey of bioprocess and fermentation technology with this particular one. Well, you all are aware with the word fermentation. As you defined very well the technology is basically a practical application of knowledge, right? We all are aware with that particular fundamental concept. Now we need to know what is the meaning of the word fermentation. Then we slightly move towards the discussion of what exactly bioprocess is. Then we try to understand the difference, and then we move into the detail with some of the questions which has been asked in a previous year during this particular competitive examination. So what exactly fermentation is? Students, try to understand. Whenever you are learning the science, the most important part of a science is to understand a concept, right? साइंस के अंदर जो भी वर्ड होता है ना, वो वर्ड के अंदर ही उसका मीनिंग छुपा हुआ होता है. You need to understand the meaning of a word fermentation. You all are aware with the fact that the word fermentation has been derived from a Greek word, fervor, and the meaning of a word fervor is to boil. The meaning of a word fervor is to boil. So that particular fundamental idea which was there originally, that means whenever you are boiling something, as a result of that, some kind of a condition which is going to occur, and that particular condition is known as a fermentation. Still, that was a very, very old definition. People have not accepted that particular definition. Why? Yes, it is a metabolic process obtaining energy in the absence of oxygen. Very, very rightly said by Yajurva. Yajurva, very right answer, right? But we need to go slowly and step by step. Your answer is absolutely right. Fine. You all are aware with this product. Are you aware with this product, all of you? Are you aware with this product, all of you? Soya sauce, cheese, beer, wine, yogurt, all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much for response. Priya, Shweta, Anpurna, Pinkal. Yes. As we are a Gujarati, especially I'm coming and I'm talking from a Surat. So we are the foodie people, and you all are aware with all these products. Dokla, right? Khaman, Locho, all these products. What these products are basically? You talk about the curd, you talk about the dosa, you talk about the jalebi. What these products are? What these products are? I require the answer from you people in a chat box. What these products are? These are the products which are basically going to produce by fermentation. Very good. Thank you. Thank you for response. Pinkal, Sweta, Ria. Very good. Thank you, Annapurna. Right. These are the products which are going to produce by the means of fermentation. Now we need to know that how this particular thing is going to occur. As I told you earlier, that whatever these products are there, these particular products are fermented products. But when you try to understand the meaning of this word fermentation, that means whatever the word fermentation is there, it derived from a Greek word, and that particular word that is known as a fervor. The meaning of a word fervor is to boil. When you talk about the pasture, if we go in a history and when we talk about the pasture try to define this particular fermentation as a phenomena, and that particular phenomena that is basically known as a life without air. When whatever the activity which is going to occur under the anaerobic condition and the product is going to produce that particular phenomena, that was known as a fermentation. Dosto, meri baat samajhna. Try to understand that was the old definition, because in today's scenario also students are giving the definition whenever the question has been asked to them what is a meaning of a fermentation, and what they are saying, they are giving the answer that production of alcohol is fermentation. My dear friends, do remember, production of alcohol is not only fermentation. There are so many products are there. There are many products are there. In fact, we will discuss about all those products. But do remember, only in a previous time, Pasteur tried to define that whatever the activity where you use the word where the life without air. That means whenever there is an anaerobic condition, and at the time of anaerobic condition, whatever the organisms are there, whenever they are going to work and they try to convert a substrate into the product, that particular phenomena, that is known as what? Fermentation. Now we are in a 21st century. We are learning a new concept. You are a student of this particular generation. Try to understand what exactly fermentation is. Whenever chemical breakdown is going to occur by the means of any organism. एक बात समझ लेना दोस्तों, it is never like that always the yeast is involved. It is never like that always a fungi is involved. It is never like that always a bacteria is involved. Whenever you talk the word fermentation, that means it is a chemical breakdown. Yes, Ria, you are very good, right? You are telling that it is a conversion of simple compound, right? You try to convert a complex one into simple one, but do remember, student, do remember two most important word, and one word that which involve the effervescence, and giving of heat. Whenever the fermentation is occurring, do try to understand at the time of fermentation, your complex compound is going to get break. It is going to convert into the simple one in the presence of microorganism, right? But do understand, two things are going to produce. One is effervescence and another one giving of heat. That particular phenomena is known as a fermentation. So whenever you are writing, whenever you are giving the definition of fermentation, what you require to involve these two words. I hope my words are clear with you people. Yes or no? I require your answer. I hope my words are clear with you. What is fermentation? Whenever the chemical breakdown is going to occur of complex material by the means of various organisms, right? But what is going to produce? Simple compound is there, that is your product is there, that is for sure always. But along with what? Effervescence and giving of heat. That particular phenomena is known as a fermentation. Thank you very much for response, Annapurna, Janvi, Kinjal, right? Sweta, Yajurva, thank you. Fine. Now we try to understand little more. Students, try to understand whenever the fermentation is going to occur, basically at the time of fermentation, whatever your organisms are there, these organisms are going to derive the energy. What they will do? They will going to derive the energy. From where? From complex compound. They try to derive the energy from the complex compound. And ultimately, your complex compound is available in terms of what? In terms of carbohydrate. So whatever this particular complex compound are there, this particular complex compound are going to convert into a simple compound, right? And your organism, what they try to do, they try to perform the activity, and that particular activity, that is known as what? Oxidation. So you require the organic compound, as for example carbohydrate, you require the endogenous electron acceptor, and basically whenever these things are going to get breakdown, you require the presence of several other things. Simple मैं बात कर रहा हूं, मैं एकदम simple आपको example दे रहा हूं. What you are having the carbon and energy source. You are also having the nitrogen source. You are also having what? Oxygen, as well as the various other requirements. And what is going to produce? The thing which is going to produce, that is known as a product. Along with the product, आपके organism के number भी बढ़ेंगे. Yes or no? Are you with me? You are getting my point. Whatever the number of organisms are there, this particular number of organisms are also going to increase, right? So that particular thing is known as what? Biomass. So whatever your carbon and energy source is there, that particular carbon and energy source is going to consume by the organism. And from that, they are producing the product, byproduct, along with, as I told you, effervescence and heat. And that's why यहाँ पे क्या लिखा हुआ है? CO2 is there. What CO2 is going to produce? CO2 is going to produce effervescence. You are aware with that word? You are aware with that word? आप लोग सोडा पीने जाते हो, right? आप लोग सोडा पीने जाते हो. What is happening? That person is putting a gas. That person is putting a gas. What kind of gas that is? That is simply a carbon dioxide. That is simply carbon dioxide. Yes, yes, Harsh, you are very right. All complex compound are going to get breakdown, right? That particular phenomena that is known as a fermentation. Now we are having a two situation. We are having a two situation. Situation number one, that particular situation that is known as anaerobic fermentation, and another one you can use the word aerobic fermentation. That particular one that is known as a aerobic fermentation. First we will talk about the simple phenomena. First we will talk about the simple phenomena, anaerobic fermentation. Anaerobic का मतलब क्या हुआ? I am asking you student, what is the meaning of a word anaerobic? Very quickly, I require your answer very quickly. What do you mean by word anaerobic? What do you mean? In the absence of oxygen. Very good, very good, very good. The meaning of word anaerobic, that means the activity. Yes, yes, thank you for response. Right. In the absence of oxygen, whatever the activity which is going to occur, that particular phenomena, that is known as what? Anaerobic condition. अब जो alcohol बन रहा है, whatever the alcohol which is occurring, that producing that activity, that is known as what? Anaerobic fermentation. Right? You are able to see in an image over here. Your glucose is there. Glucose is going to convert into the alcohol in the presence of yeast. हम इसके ऊपर थोड़ी बात करेंगे क्योंकि आपकी CSIR-NET के एग्जाम के अंदर there are so many words are there. There are so many questions are there which has been asked in a previous year from this particular one. Okay. So whatever your glucose is there, that glucose is going to convert into the alcohol under the anaerobic condition. How you are going to maintain the anaerobic condition? My question is that. My question is that how you are going to maintain the anaerobic condition? I am asking for answer. Closed system, very good. That is known as what kind of system, Sweta? The meaning of word closed system is what? What do you mean by word closed system? How you can maintain that particular one? In fermenter, RIA, you are going to maintain batch. I require a very appropriate answer. I require the condition. What kind of condition? You are going to maintain what kind of condition? Shaking condition or static condition? My question is that direct question to you people. What kind of condition you are going to maintain? Shaking condition or static condition? Yes, yes, yes. Static. No, sorry Kajal, sorry Rupam. Sorry, Rupam has written a static. Kajal, we are going to maintain a static condition. The meaning of word static is what? The meaning of word static is what? It is available in stable condition. It is available in what? Stable condition. There is no movement. There is no movement. And if the movement is going to occur, what is going to enter? If the movement is going to occur, what is going to enter?
Air.
Yes, air. Very good answer. Very good answer. Air is going to enter. So try to understand. Hardy, you are writing a wrong answer. Shaking is not. We are going to maintain a static condition. Yes, Harsh, you are writing a right answer on YouTube. It's a closed system. Right? We have a two different platform available. Some of the students are writing on a Zoom. Some of the students are writing on a YouTube. You just try to be concentrated. I'm following both of you. Do understand that whenever we are working with the anaerobic condition at that particular time, what we require the static condition. I hope the words are clear. Yes or no? I hope the words are clear with you people. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Thank you very much for response. Now, just try to understand. Just try to understand what is going to happen over here. You are having what? You are having C6H12O6. As for example, you are going to take a glucose that is available from a plant source, right? In that, you are going to add what? You are going to add yeast for the purpose. Now, what they try to do? They try to perform the activity, and that activity that is known as alcohol fermentation. So what is going to happen? You are having this particular one, glucose, which you have collected from a plant source. Now, what you try to do? You try to add the yeast. You're going to maintain the static condition. That means there is no entry of oxygen is going to occur over there. And now you have a production of alcohol, which is going to occur along with the carbon dioxide and the energy. कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड क्या देगा? डू रिमेंबर एफर्वेसेंस. अगर आपने ये प्रैक्टिकल किया है, जस्ट रिमेंबर बाय योरसेल्फ. If you have performed this practical, you just remember by yourself, whatever the bottles were there, where you have performed this particular alcohol fermentation, on the top, what you are able to observe? You are able to observe the small bubbles. Yes or no? You are able to observe the small bubbles, right? That particular small bubbles are of this carbon dioxide, are of this particular carbon dioxide. Now, you are having another species, and that particular species is known as animals, right? Now do understand again, over here alcohol is not going to produce, but over here there is a production of another thing is going to occur, and that particular thing that is known as a lactic acid. That particular thing is known as a lactic acid. In animal, there is activity is going to occur, and that particular activity that is known as a lactic acid fermentation. मैं आपको एक simple example देता हूँ. IPL is going on right now, right? The people are playing the IPL. You have seen the cricket match. Whenever the players are playing the cricket match, many times their hamstrings are going to get injured. જેને આપણે બહુ સામાન્ય ભાષામાં ગુજરાતીમાં हम बोलते हैं, ગુજરાતીમાં આપણે કહીએ છીએ કે ના પગ ખેંચાઈ જાય છે. Yes or no? When you're doing the strenuous exercise, you are running for a half marathon, you are running for a full marathon, you are working in a gym, you are doing a cycling, what is going to happen? There is a cramp available in your muscle. Yes or no? There is a cramp available in your muscle. Yes or no? Thank you, Rupam, from response. Yes, there is a cramp. The cramp is going to occur in your muscle. Why? A high metabolic activity which is going to occur, right? And due to this particular high metabolic activity, what is going to occur? Do remember that particular time, whatever your glucose is there, that is going to convert into lactic acid. Yes, yes, Kajal. Thank you, Brinda. Thank you, Jalak, for your response. Yes, Harsh. Whatever this particular metabolic activity is there, that is going to convert the glucose into the lactic acid, and there is an absence of oxygen. Again, अभी भी हम किसकी definition पे बात कर रहे हैं? We are talking on a definition of Pasteur only. Pasteur ने क्या बताया था? In an absence of air, in absence of oxygen, whatever the activity is going to occur, that particular thing is known as what? Fermentation.
Fermentation.
You know example. Both the example. You talk about the plant, you talk about the animal. Both the activity are occurring in an absence of oxygen, and as a result of that, there is a production of product is going to occur. I hope the words are clear in your mind, and that particular phenomena that is known as a fermentation. Yes, Harsh, you are absolutely right. That is a fate of pyruvic acid. It will be going to get diverted into a lactic acid production. Thank you very much. Yes, it is absolutely correct. I hope you are clear with this particular basic concept and basic idea. All of you are clear with this? I require the response of all of you in a chat box.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. Thank you very much for response. Yes. Now, just try to observe. Yes, Shweta, you can ask definitely. You can write in a chat box, that will be more appropriate, so I'm able to answer it appropriately. You can write down in chat box, no problem. I'm going further. We'll discuss, we'll come to your question also, Shweta. You just write down the things in a chat box. Okay. Now, there are two things are there. One, that is anaerobic. That is known as a fermentation. Another activity that is known as an aerobic activity. Now, just try to understand. Whenever you talk about this particular aerobic phenomena, we can use the word aerobic fermentation also. You can write the word aerobic respiration also. There is no problem available with that. Shweta, you can type your question. That is for sure, no problem. Right? Okay. Aerobic respiration, when we talk about that, if we talk about the eukaryote, in the eukaryote, that particular phenomena is going to occur at the place, and that is known as the cytoplasm and mitochondria. That place is known as what? Cytoplasm and mitochondria. When you talk about a fermentation, this fermentation is going to occur where? Specifically in a cytoplasm. Specifically in a cytoplasm, right? So do remember, यही चीज आपको एग्जाम में आएगी. Do remember, because students are confused, right? Whenever the question has been asked, aerobic respiration कहाँ पे होगा? Students are going to give the answer only cytoplasm, क्योंकि उनके दिमाग में क्या होता है? They are only available, they are clear in their mind only with the glucose metabolism. They are not thinking further. right? So do remember, in a eukaryote, that particular activity is going to occur at the place, and that place is known as a cytoplasm and mitochondria. I hope my words are clear to you. But fermentation kahan pe hoga? सिर्फ और सिर्फ cytoplasm. सिर्फ और सिर्फ cytoplasm. CO2 is releasing, Shweta. The amount is very less. CO2 is releasing. According to new definition also, the CO2 is releasing, the amount is very less, which is negligible. But that activity is going to occur because whenever you are having that particular, to maintain the balance between this equation, the CO2 is releasing, right? So the amount is very negligible. Fine. Thank you. Thank you. You understood. Okay. Another one, reactant. When you talk about the reactant, in the case of aerobic respiration, the reactants are glucose and oxygen. But when you talk about the fermentation, the only reactant one available with you, and that is a glucose. Only one reactant is there, that is a glucose. When you talk about the product, in the case of your aerobic fermentation, you are having a carbon dioxide and water. In the case of aerobic, you are having a carbon dioxide and water. When you talk about the fermentation, it changes with the species. If you talk about the animal, you are having a lactic acid, right? If you talk about the plants and yeast, you are having the alcohol along with the carbon dioxide. So that particular phenomena, that is a basic difference available between the aerobic respiration and fermentation. I hope students, you are with me. Are you getting my words, what I'm trying to convey? You are with me? Fine, fine, fine. Thank you very much for response, Janvi, Kinjal. Thank you, thank you. Fine. Now we are coming to the another part that is known as a bioprocess technology. One part we have discussed, and that particular part that is known as a fermentation. We have tried to understand the word fermentation. Now there are many situations are there where the word bioprocess technology is overlapping. Where the word bioprocess technology is overlapping with what? With word fermentation. Try to understand. I have asked already you have one question and you have given the answer wonderfully. What is technology? Technology is known as a practical application of knowledge, right? It is a practical application of knowledge. Basically, you are applying that particular knowledge for what purpose? Adapting ourselves to physical world. मैं आपको एक simple example देता हूँ. I used to give this example in a physical class also, right? You all are aware with the chalk. You are all are aware with the chalk stick. Right? What is the use of chalk stick? I require your response. What is the use of chalk stick? Yes, very good. To write. Very good answer, Ria. We are using the chalk stick for the purpose of writing. Should I utilize the chalk stick for the purpose of throwing on a student? The students who is not giving the attention in a classroom, is that appropriate use? Yes, good answer, Rupam. No, that is, Sweta, that is not appropriate use, right? What is the use of chalk? Use of chalk stick is to write on a board. That is appropriate use. I am trying to explain you the word technology. I am trying to explain you the word technology, right? Practical application of knowledge. You are having the knowledge, this is a chalk. मेरे पास knowledge है कि ये chalk है. मैं chalk का क्या उपयोग करूंगा? I will utilize the chalk for the purpose of writing. That is a practical knowledge. Not the previous one, what I told you. That is the meaning of our technology. Try to understand the word bio stands for life and the word technology stands for practical application of knowledge. When you combine this word, that is going to become what? Bioprocess technology. I hope the words are clear in your mind. I hope the words are clear in your mind. What is going to happen? You try to. No, Harsh, we are not coming to that part directly. Harsh Mehta, we are not coming to that part directly. Upstream and downstream, right? We are coming to the point. That point is known as a technology. The meaning of word technology is a practical application of knowledge. You are usually utilizing that word for what? Life. आप कहाँ पे application दे रहे हो? Life. The meaning of word life is what? Microorganism. The meaning of word life is what? Microorganism. What you try to do? You try to utilize a complete living cell, or sometimes you try to utilize a part of that. Part of that means what? Part of that means you are working with the enzymes. You try to work with the mitochondria. You try to work with the chloroplast, and ultimately you try to produce what? You try to produce the desired product. You try to produce what? Desired product. That particular process, that is known as a bioprocess. आप किसको ले रहे हो? You are taking a living cell. You are taking a living cell, and whatever the living cell you are taking, what you try to do, you try to utilize that living cell for the production of your desired product. Sometimes you are not taking a living cell, you are taking a part. You are all are aware with the concept of immobilization. Yes or no? You all are aware with the concept of immobilization, right? So you are using what? Immobilized enzyme. Sometimes you are using a direct enzyme. And what you try to do? You try to produce the desired product. So that particular phenomena, that is known as what? Bioprocess. That particular phenomena, that is known as what? Bioprocess, right? Now we move towards the one of the very important aspect, and that particular part is very essential. So what we are doing, we are basically working with the phenomena, and that particular phenomena which are dealing with a particular production of product. There is one more word is there, and that particular word, that is known as bioprocess engineering. That particular word is known as what? Bioprocess engineering. Now it is a part of bioprocess technology, but that deal with what? That deal with the design and development and the evaluation. You are using the living organism. You are using the living organism, but along with the using a living organism for the production of your desired product, what you try to do? You try to design the fermenter. You try to develop the process. You try to evaluate the outcome. That particular phenomena, that is known as a bioprocess engineering. We have tried to understand three different terminology. Terminology number one, fermentation. Terminology number two, bioprocess technology. And the terminology number three, bioprocess engineering. I hope as a student of biotechnology, as a student of life science, you all are clear with these three different definitions. One, fermentation. Second one, bioprocess technology. And the third one, bioprocess engineering. Is it okay? You are clear with this, student?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for response. Thank you very much. Okay, fine. So with this particular background, we try to move towards the one of the very important topic from where the questions are asked in a number of examples. What this particular technique involve? Fermentation or bioprocess technology? Basically, this fermentation and bioprocess technology, that is made up of three components. There are three parts are there. The first and most important part, that dealing with what? That particular part is dealing with the phenomena, and that particular phenomena, that is known as selection of based biological catalyst for particular activity. Selection of based biological catalyst for a particular activity. उसका मतलब क्या है? Whatever the fermentation or bioprocess technology you try to do, what you require to select based biological catalyst. The meaning of a word based biological catalyst क्या है? उसका मतलब ये है, you are supposed to select that kind of enzyme, you are supposed to select that kind of organism which is able to convert maximum amount of substrate into a product. Which is able to convert maximum amount of substrate into the product. उसका मतलब क्या है? It should convert maximum amount of a substrate which you have taken into the maximum amount of product. मैं simple example आपको देता हूँ. See, I am a fan of a cricket and movies. So whatever the example I am going to give, the examples are majorly available from this particular two field only. Cricket की बात करते हैं. अगर क्रिकेट की कोई टीम का सिलेक्शन हो, राइट? क्रिकेट की टीम का सिलेक्शन हो, पूरी इंडिया में से करना हो, what kind of player you are going to select? What kind of player you are going to select? The player who are playing average, the player who are playing at the poor level, or the player who are playing at the best level? What kind of player you are going to select? Best. Very good answer, Rupam, Janvi. You are always going to select the best player. You are always going to select the best player. Same way, when we try to perform any practical by the means of fermentation, by the means of bioprocess technology, and when we try to produce any kind of a product, what we require? We require to select based biological catalyst for a particular process. For a particular process. Second part, the most important part, that what we require to do, we require to provide them a best suitable environment to perform. Yes, very good answer, Rukshar. Right? What we require? We require a best environment for their performance. मैं आपको सिंपल एग्जांपल देता हूं. अभी आप आपके घर पे बैठे हो, right, and you are listening this particular lecture, right? If the temperature of that particular room is going to create by someone around 45 degree, what will be going to happen? If the temperature of that particular room will be going to created around 45 degree, what will be going to happen? Are you comfortable in that 45 degree temperature of your room? Yes or no? You are able to concentrate on a lecture? You will change the position, right? You are not comfortable with that, right? Yes. Another thing, if the temperature of that particular room will change and will decrease and will make around 10 degrees centigrade, then around 10, 5, 7 degrees centigrade, then what will happen? Are you comfortable in that situation? Again uncomfortable. Yes, again uncomfortable, right? Try to understand. You require to sit, we require to sit in an appropriate temperature. अगर AC से उस रूम का टेम्परेचर अराउंड 22 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड रख दिया तो आर यू गोइंग टू गेट एंजॉय? If the temperature we are going to kept around 22 degree, you are going to enjoy? हाँ sir, will definitely enjoy. शायद ऐसा भी हो जाए कि हम लोग सो जाए, right? That will be also going to happen, right? Same way, do remember friends, whatever the second part is there of fermentation or biotechnology, the second component is there. What is going to happen? Your organism require the best environment. They require the optimum condition, whether you talk about the pH, whether you talk about the temperature, whether you talk about the shaking condition, whether you talk about the pressure, everything they require in an optimum amount. The second part of fermentation, the first part is what? Select the base biological catalyst to perform the activity. The second part is what? We require to provide a best possible environment to perform. क्रिकेट टीम की बात करते हैं, 11 हमने बेस्ट लोग ले लिए, लेकिन अगर वो लोग को हमने अच्छी ट्रीटमेंट नहीं दी तो आर दे एबल टू प्ले ऑन नेक्स्ट डे? रात को सोने से मना कर दिया, आपको ऐसी जगह पे सोना है जहां पे अनकंफर्टेबल है सब. Is it possible that next day they are going to play very well? ऐसा पॉसिबल है? नेक्स्ट दिन वो लोग अच्छा खेल पाएंगे? नो. द सेम थिंग इज गोइंग टू हैपन विथ आवर ऑर्गेनिज्म. The same thing is going to happen with our organism. What you require? Second component, you require to provide optimum condition, right? So that particular one. Yes, Chauhan Hitesh, you can use that word, right? Upstream and downstream. Upstream is the first and second part. The third part, the third component, that is a downstream process. Now what you try to do over here? Basically what you try to do, you try to perform a maximum collection of product. जितनी भी प्रोडक्ट है वो प्रोडक्ट को आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा रिकवर करना चाहोगे, right? So that particular part is dealing with what? Separation and purification. It deal with what? Separation and purification. So that particular phenomena, that particular component is known as the third part, and that is basically a downstream. I hope you are getting my point. What I'm trying to convey? I'm trying to convey the components of fermentation. There are three components. First one, base biological catalyst. Second one, optimum condition. Third one, maximum recovery. I hope the words are clear. Everyone. So this is basically a phenomena which is deal with the basic idea of a fermentation, right? Okay. Now the most important question which has been asked during the interview. क्योंकि क्या होगा, आप लोग entrance exam clear करेंगे, entrance exam के बाद you are going to appear for the interview at the various place, right? And at that particular phenomena, at that particular time, you are having the most common question: what is the difference available between the fermenter and bioreactor? This is the most common question asked during the viva, during the interview. Before beginning a discussion of that particular point, I am asking you student, what is the difference available between the fermenter and bioreactor? Then I am definitely going to explain. You just write down in chat box so I am able to get the idea what you know and what you are aware with. What is the difference available between the fermenter and bioreactor? Okay, fine, Rushkar. Okay, speed difference. Yes, very good answer, Janvi. Very good answer, Janvi. I'm going to come to that particular point. We'll discuss about that particular point also, because from that particular speed matter, there are a number of sub questions are there. Cultivate bacteria in fermenter. Okay, fine. Fine, Rupam. Okay, Rukshar. Yes. Any other? Anyone? O2. Yes. Yes, Hitesh, you are absolutely right. Yes, bioreactor. Ria, you are giving the right answer. We try to utilize animal cell. Fine. Do remember, student, this is the most common question which has been asked to you, right? Growing bacteria in bioreactor. Not exactly, Rupam. I'm coming to that point. Okay. These are the major difference available between the fermenter and bioreactor. अब एक चीज आपके दिमाग के अंदर क्लियर कर देना. One thing, try to make very, very clear in your mind. If you talk at the larger level, right, whatever the bioreactors are there, these words are using commonly, right? But when you're using it for a fermentation purpose, you can utilize it as a microbial bioreactor. And the another one, when you're utilizing with the animal cell or the mammalian cell, that particular one, that is known as a mammalian cell bioreactor. बात समझना मेरी. Try to understand the difference. Bioreactor word you can utilize for both, but when you are using the bioreactor for a microorganism, at that particular time you require to write the word what? Microbial bioreactor. आपको ये word लिखना पड़ेगा. I hope you are getting me. किंजल हम आपके पॉइंट पे आते हैं. We'll try to talk on that. I hope you are getting me what I'm trying to convey, right? You can use the word fermenter, that is absolutely fine, but you want to utilize the word bioreactor. At that particular time you require to write the word microbial bioreactor, and another one that is known as a mammalian cell bioreactor. I hope my words are clear. All of you are with me? Are you here? Okay, thanks for response. Fine. Now try to understand that whatever microbial bioreactor is there, that is basically utilized for what? As many of you have given the answer, it is utilized for a growth and maintenance of bacteria as well as a fungal cell. Is it utilized for a growth and maintenance for a bacteria as well as a fungal cell? Whereas mammalian cell bioreactor you can utilize for growth and maintenance of mammalian cell. For that particular purpose, you can utilize a bioreactor. When we talk in terms of size, whatever your fermenter or microbial bioreactors are there, they are large. That means they possess a size of a gallons. When we talk about the bioreactor, normally they are small, which are going to work with the animal cell. Normally they are small. When you talk about the growth rate, growth rate is available in the terms of your fermenter is a few days to week. Whereas in the case of your bioreactor, you are going to work with the mammalian cell, it is for several weeks. When you talk about the maintenance of pH over here, the pH is going to maintain by the means of acid and base. They are available and you can maintain the pH. Whereas in the case of bioreactor, for the maintenance of pH, what is available? You are having CO2 cylinder. You are having a CO2 cylinder. My question is again, this is a question which has been asked normally whenever you are going to appear for a viva. Why there is a need of CO2 cylinder when you are working with the bioreactor? जब कभी भी आप बायोरिएक्टर के साथ काम कर रहे हो, why you require the CO2 cylinder? नॉर्मली एरोबिक ऑर्गेनिज्म में तो आपको ऑक्सीजन सिलेंडर होना चाहिए, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड के सिलेंडर की जरूरत क्या है? वेरी गुड आंसर रिया, इट एक्ट एज अ बफर. थोड़ा इलोबरेट करेंगे? यस, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ बफर सिस्टम? यस यजुर्वा, वेरी गुड आंसर. व्हाट काइंड ऑफ बफर सिस्टम? नो, नॉट प्रोवाइड ऑप्टिमल टेम्परेचर. सॉरी रूपम, नहीं, no Rukshar, it is not for sparging process. pH maintain, how? My question is how. Very good answer Janvi. pH maintenance, that is yes. Blood contain carbonic buffer. You require to maintain carbonate bicarbonate buffer system, and for that purpose, very good answer Yajurva. For that particular purpose, no Rukshar, no Chauhan, Hitesh, it is required to maintain carbonate bicarbonate buffer system. For that particular purpose, you need what? You require this particular CO2 cylinder. ये याद रखना, बच्चे हमेशा भूल करते हैं. Right? They are giving the answer. No, we don't require the CO2 cylinder. We require the O2 cylinder. क्योंकि हम ऑक्सीजन देना है. We are not giving the oxygen. Do remember, we are never giving the oxygen. We are giving the air. We are giving the air in the case of aerobic process. उसके ऊपर हम बात थोड़ी देर के बात करेंगे. Most important part. आगे किसी ने बताया था. Someone has given the answer about the speed, the difference which is available between the bioreactor and the fermenter. Yes, Janvi told. Janvi has given that answer, that there is a difference in speed. Try to understand. When you are working with the fermenter, at that particular time, the speed is available more than 800 RPM. More than 800 RPM, right? Whereas in the case of bioreactor, you are having the speed which is less than 150. My question is why? Again, this is very important thing to discuss, to clear your concept, to give the answer appropriately in the examination, in the interview.
Animal cell not contain the cell wall, so cell
Very good answer. Very good. Bang on. Very good answer. Who has given that answer? Who has given the answer? Can you write down your name in a chat box? Good answer. Yes, Janvi. Very good answer. Do understand. I'm coming to your question, Ria. Okay. Try to understand that whatever this particular animal cells are there, they do not contain cell wall. अगर cell wall होगी तो ज्यादा speed काम आएगी, लेकिन cell wall है ही नहीं. किसके पास नहीं है? Animal cell do not have a cell wall, and if there is no cell wall available, they are going to become a fragile. जब कभी भी आपका sparger rotate होगा, whenever that sparger is going to rotate, this particular cell membrane are going to get damaged. You don't want that. And because of that particular reason, we are keeping very less amount of speed when we are working with the bioreactor, specifically by using a mammalian cell. I hope my words are clear. You are getting me. Everyone. Thank you for response. Thank you. Okay. Now, another difference. Whenever you are going to work with the fermenter, there is always chance the speed is very high. Whenever you are going to work with the fermenter, there is always chance the speed is very high, right? Because of that particular reason, there is always chance of a foaming. So for that particular purpose, what is available? We are having an anti-foam agent. And that particular anti-foam agent is known as what? Silicon oil. उसके ऊपर भी हम ज़्यादा बात करेंगे because the questions are coming from that particular point also. Mammalian cells, with that, this particular anti-foaming activity is not very much common. With the mammalian cell, this particular anti-foaming activity is not very much common. Okay. You can utilize a fermenter, microbial bioreactor always with the aerobic as well as the anaerobic condition. Whereas, whatever your mammalian cells are there or your bioreactor, that is always going to work with the aerobic condition. So these are the major 6 difference available between the fermenter and bioreactor. I hope you all are clear with this. Everyone. You are clear with this? This particular phenomena that is known as basically a difference between the bioreactor and fermenter. Okay. Next part. Now, as you told that whatever this particular entire process is there, that is classified into 3 categories. Hers was talking previously. Hers is there on a YouTube. He's not in a Zoom, but hers was talking about, Hers Mehta was talking previously on this particular phenomena, that whatever your fermentation technique is there, that is majorly divided into 2 types. One, that is an upstream process. Another one is downstream process. You are able to see. You are able to see in a slides very clearly that whatever the upstream process is there, what we try to do, we are working basically for the preparation, right? We are working basically for the preparation. So what we try to do, we try to select the strain. Once we are going to select the strain, we try to put that particular strain into the media. And after the putting that particular strain into the media, what we try to do, we try to perform the actual fermentation. जो ये strain का selection है, whatever the isolation, whatever the screening, whatever the media formulation, all those things basically we are doing, and that particular phenomena we are doing for the upstream process. Yes, Ravi, we have already talked about this word that is known as a bicarbonate buffer system. We have already talked about this particular phenomena, right? Okay. Now, what we try to do, we try to put into a fermenter. You are able to observe the things over here, right? Whenever we talk about this fermenter is going to work in a kind of situation where your all the parameters are maintained. And ultimately, once the product is going to produce, now you are going to move towards the third part, and that is known as a downstream process. That particular phenomena that is known as a downstream process. So by this downstream process, what you try to do, as you are able to see in an image, you are able to collect your desired product, and you are able to purify that. Ultimately, your pure product is available with you. So this is outline of your fermentation process. Basically, 2 activity. In between them, the actual fermentation is going to occur. The first one is known as the upstream process. The another one is known as the downstream process. In between them, there is a fermentation which is going to occur. So this is how the fermentation is going to work out. Now, what this upstream process deal with? The upstream process is basically going to deal with a phenomena that is known as an inoculum preparation. What do you mean by word inoculum? May I have the idea? May I have the response from you people? What do you mean by word inoculum? Inoculum का मतलब क्या होता है? What is the meaning of a word inoculum? I'm waiting for your answer. Not exactly. It is not substance. Sorry. Culture. Yes. Kajal, you are right answer. Yes. I'm not getting voice.
Inoculated culture.
But what do you mean by word inoculation? I'm asking the word inoculum. What kind of microbial culture, Shweta? Yes, Rukshar, what do you mean by that amount of microbe you require? There is one particular word available. जब कभी भी आप inoculum की definition देंगे, एक word आएगा उसके अंदर. That word is very important. You require the organism in what kind of state? Pure is okay. Pure is there. Loopful is there. What kind of state? इनोक्यूलम के अंदर आपको ऑर्गेनिज्म कैसे चाहिए? लॉग फेज, उसका मतलब कैसा? ब्रिंदा, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ फेज दे आर अवेलेबल, उसका मतलब क्या है? द ऑर्गेनिज्म शुड बी एक्टिवली ग्रोइंग. यस, देयर यू आर रिया. Yes, it's a perfect answer. You require the organism which are available in an active stage of growth, right? So what you try to do? You try to prepare the inoculum. How you will prepare? You will perform the screening, you will perform the genetic modification, you will prepare the pure culture. Now what you are going to do? You try to develop the media and you try to optimize the process. Once the things are going to work out, now you are going to scale up the things. That means पहले आपने 50 ml बनाया था, 100 ml बनाया था, now you are reaching up to the 500 ml, you are reaching up to the 1 liter. Ultimately, you are going to inoculate that. Where? Into the fermenter. So this all this activity that is basically known as what? upstream process? I hope the words are clear in your mind, everyone. Fine. Yes, Hitesh, it is a substance which is going to start the culture, right? So that particular phenomena, that is known as what? Upstream process. Now we are going to talk about the another part that is known as a downstream process. That is known as what? Downstream process. Now, as we have already discussed, it's a starter culture. You can use the word Janvi. It's a starter culture. Now, when you talk about the downstream process, basically a downstream process is a kind of phenomena where you try to recover the things. So what you try to do, you are having a fermenter, you carry out the separation of solid and liquid from that. Once you perform the separation, you are having a cell. If the cells are product, you utilize them, or not, you try to remove them. Now you are going to collect the liquid, you perform the recovery by all this activity, and ultimately you are having your final product. So this is how you are going to work with the downstream process. में थोड़े example जो आपके exam point of view है, that I will discuss later on. Okay. Now another important part from which you are getting a maximum question for your examination point of view. This is a basic design of fermenter, right? There are so many parts are there. You start with the motor and air with the sterile air from where you are introducing the thing which is known as a sparger, right? There are a number of components of a fermenter are there available over there, right? We are not going to talk about all the component, but I'm trying to concentrate on some of the component which are very essential as a part of a fermenter. Now, these are the very essential part. You can talk about the impeller, sparger, baffles, load cell, pH meter, flow cell, steam line. There are a number of things are there, including inlet, exit, gas analyzer. Now, there was a question which has been asked in some of the examination. For a thorough mixing of a medium and inoculum and the part of fermenter, what you are going to utilize? What you are utilize? Yes, the question has been asked. For thorough mixing of medium and inoculum, which part of fermenter you try to utilize? Someone has given answer, sparger. Ria has given the answer. I'm waiting for other answer. Sparger is not right answer. Sorry, Ria. It is not the right answer. Yes, Pinkle. Yes, Ria. Yes. Khetendra. Yes. Still, I'm looking for answer from a YouTube people. The people who are watching on a YouTube, I'm waiting for you. You are lagging 7-8 seconds behind. Sorry, Brinder, it's a wrong answer. Yes, it's an impeller. Yes, Rukshar, Hitesh, good answer. Impeller. अब मैं आपको एक की बताता हूं, छोटी सी की. आपको एंट्रेंस एग्जाम के लिए कैसे प्रिपेयर होना है, right? Very quickly, I wanted to share this particular thing. When you are reading a question, right, do remember you need to find out the answer for all. As for example, question आपको ये पूछा है और इसका आंसर आ रहा है impeller, इसका आंसर आ रहा है impeller, right? लेकिन आप जब एंट्रेंस एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो ना, व्हाट यू रिक्वायर टू डू, आपको ये जानना जरूरी है, बाजू में लिख देने का, व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ शाफ्ट. यू नीड टू राइट व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ हेड स्पेस. यू नीड टू राइट व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ स्पार्जर. नेसेसरी नहीं है कि हमें यही क्वेश्चन आएगा, लेकिन एक क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करते समय आपने कितने क्वेश्चन और सॉल्व कर दिए, कितने और क्वेश्चन आपने सॉल्व कर दिए. एक क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करते समय यू हैव सॉल्व 3 क्वेश्चन. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट. I hope you are getting my point, everyone. Right? You have solved what? You have solved 3 other. So do prepare like this. When you are preparing for entrance examination, do prepare like this. ऐसा मत करना कि इसका आंसर है impeller, इसको टिक करके आगे बढ़ो. Do not do that. Right? अगर आप 25 क्वेश्चन करोगे ना, you are able to prepare for 100 question. If you prepare like this, fine. Okay, we'll try to discuss some more point from where the question has been asked in a previous examination. There is a particular portion that is known as a baffle. What is a function of a baffle? What is a function of a baffle? I'm asking you student, then we try to understand the concept. What is a function of a baffle? We try to understand the concept, right? It's prevent vortex formation. Now do understand. एकदम perfect correct answer is Janvi. It is going to prevent the formation of vortex. We try to understand how it is going to prevent the formation of vortex. Do understand that whatever the vortex formation is there, this vortex formation कैसे होगी? पहले तो एक चीज समझनी जरूरी है. How the vortex formation is going to occur, that we require to understand. Vortex formation कैसी होगी? Whenever there is a circular motion, whatever your shaft is there, it contains the blades, right, which we are giving the known as a impeller. यहाँ पे मैंने image में दिखाया है. It is a real diagram of a bioreactor which are available with us, right? Okay, whenever you rotate this, whenever the rotation is going to occur, because of the particular rotation, these blades which are attached on a shaft known as an impeller, they are going to rotate continuously. उसके हिसाब से क्या होगा? Whatever this particular flow is there, that is going to occur in continuous manner. अगर ये flow continuous रहेगा, आपको blue image दिख रही है यहाँ पे, you are able to see blue color arrow, right? Whatever the flow, if it is going to remain continue, it will create the vortex. अगर vortex होगा, it will not allow the proper mixing of media component along with the organism. Vortex होगा, then vortex will do what? It will not allow a proper mixing of media component along with the organism. That will be not going to occur. That will be not going to occur, right? So what we require to do? We require to obstruct this particular flow. And because of that particular reason, you can see these are the kind of obstruction in a flow available over here. आपको पता चल रहा है image को देख के? You are able to get the idea? There is obstruction available over here, right? So this particular thing where the obstruction is going to create, that is going to occur by this particular metal strip. And these metal strips are known as what? Baffles. I hope the words are clear. These particular metal strips are known as what? Baffles. Everyone, you got the point? Our purpose of using a baffles what? We want to create the obstruction. We wanted to create the obstruction. अगर obstruction नहीं करेंगे तो क्या होगा? Media का, organism का proper mixing नहीं होगा. Right? If the proper mixing is not there, there is not proper conversion of substrate into the product. That is the reason why this particular thing is going to occur. Okay. Another thing from which you are getting a maximum question. We have discussed previously about the anti-foam. हमने बात की थी anti-foam के बारे में. Yes or no? You require it for the prevention of foam. You require it for the prevention of foam, right? Whatever these anti-foams are there, this particular anti-foams, there are a number of anti-foam agents are there. People are using a oil. I wanted to explain you how this particular oil is working. Yes, Ria, you have written very well answer. Silicone oil. You have written very well answer. Silicone oil, right? Okay. How this particular oil are going to work out? Do understand. What is the nature of oil? Hydrophobic or hydrophilic? Samajhna. Concept. Try to understand the concept. What is the nature of oil? Hydrophobic or hydrophilic?
Hydrophobic.
Very good answer. Very good answer. Right? Now try to understand. Try to understand that whenever this particular thing is going to work out, this oil, when you are adding, एक पहले समझिए concept, bubble कैसे बनता है. जब आप लोग छोटे थे या अभी भी आप लोग जब फेयर के अंदर जाते हैं, right now there is a lockdown is going on, so it is not possible practically to go in a fair, right? But जब कभी भी आप मेले में जाते हैं तब आपने देखा होगा छोटे बच्चे क्या करते हैं, वो साबु वाला पानी होता है और उसमें से बबल क्रिएट करते हैं. Yes or no? Yes or no? Very clear? How the bubble is forming? Yes. Fine. Good. Thank you for response. How the bubble is forming? Bubble is basically what? What is basically bubble is? Outer layer is made up of what? Water. Outer layer is made up of what? Water. And in between that, what is there? Air. Very good. Outer layer is made up of a water. In between them, there is an air available. Now, that is a fundamental concept of a bubble. When this bubble are going to combine together, when this particular bubble are going to combine together, they are going to create what? They are going to create what? They are going to create foam. Yes, very good answer, Janvi. They are going to create what? They are going to create the foam. हमें क्या करना है? Foam को कम करना है. फोम को कम करना है उसका मतलब क्या है? वी आर नॉट सपोज टू अलाउ ऑल द बबल टू गेट टुगेदर. बबल का जो गेट टुगेदर हो रहा है वो हमें निकालना है. सो फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर पर्पस वी आर यूटिलाइजिंग कंसेप्ट ऑफ हाइड्रोफिलिक एंड हाइड्रोफोबिक. हम क्या करेंगे? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल व्हाट वी ट्राई टू डू, वी ट्राई टू ऐड द ऑयल. Oil is going to occupy the position on a bubble like this. You are able to see the green color line. Now whenever these things are going to come in contact with each other, one is hydrophilic, another is hydrophobic. Both of them they are going to come in contact with each other. As a result of that, what is going to happen? Repulsion. दोनों एक दूसरे के नजदीक आना शुरू करेंगे, लेकिन दोनों कैसे है? हाइड्रोफोबिक. सो व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन? रिपल्सन इज गोइंग टू अकर. यस और नो? मेरी बात पता चल रही है आप लोगों को? आर यू गेटिंग मी? Fine. Thank you for response. Fine. Now what is going to happen whenever the repulsion is going to occur at that particular time of repulsion? Along with that, whatever the oil is there, it contain a silica particle. ऐसा necessary नहीं है कि आप silicon oil ही utilize करें. You can utilize any of the oil, but the most common one advisable is silicon oil. Now whatever the silicon oil is there, it contain what? It contains the silica particle. So whatever the silica particle is there, this particular silica particle is going to carry out the puncture into this bubble, and as a result of that, the bubble is going to get eliminated. Right? So this is how the anti-foam is going to work out. Right? Try to understand. These are some of the points which I am covering from where you are getting a maximum questions during your exam as well as your viva. Right? So this is how your anti-foam agent is going to work out. Is it okay? Is it clear in your mind, everyone? Fine. Thank you for response. Okay. So the question has been asked in one of the exam. Anti-foam agent is silicon compound, colloid, soybean oil, all of this. I require the answer from you people. I require the answer from you people. Okay. Janvi says all. Rupam is saying all. I'm waiting for a YouTube students. The students who are watching on a YouTube, I require the answer from you people also. Jikisa is saying also. Okay, Kinjal. Okay, Hitesh. On a YouTube, Hitesh has given the answer D. Anything else? Anything else? Fine. Do remember, silicon की बात हुई थोड़ी देर पहले. बहुत सारे लोग ऐसा सोचेंगे the answer is silicon compound. No. I repeat one more time. You can utilize any of the oil. Compulsion कोई नहीं है. Right? But the preferable is a silicon one. You can utilize corn oil, you can utilize soybean oil. So the correct answer is what? All of this. Right? That is a correct answer. One more thing from where you are getting a maximum question. And that particular one, that is known as a load cell. That is known as a load cell. What is load cell? This particular portion on which your bioreactor is available. जहां पे ये पूरा bioreactor खड़ा है, ये particular portion. That one is known as what? Load cell. What it will do? It will basically going to carry the load. कितनी quantity में मीडिया भरा हुआ है, मीडिया भरने के बाद ऑर्गेनिज्म ऐड करने के बाद after the production of product, how much amount of a product is going to produce that particular thing, you try to understand, and that one, that is known as a bioreactor. That one is known as what? Bioreactor. Load cell. Right? Specifically that component is known as a load cell. वो क्या करेगा? लोड को catch up करेगा. Right? Okay. Another question which was asked in one entrance examination. What is the answer? This was a question which was asked in one of the entrance examination. What is the answer? No. Rupam, your wrong answer. Okay, Riya. Okay, Ketendra. Fine. Yes. The answer is bioreactor. Right? The answer is bioreactor. Yes, Rushkar. Good answer. So the answer is bioreactor. Fine. Okay. Now we are moving towards another part, and that particular part, that is a part of upstream process from where you are getting a question, that is known as the selection of microbial strain for a fermenter. There are two words are there. One is known as isolation, another known as a screening. What is the difference? Or what do you mean by word isolation? What do you mean by word isolation? Yes, separation, selection. You are able to see the image, राइट अगर मैं ऐसा क्वेश्चन बोलूं जिन्होंने रेड कलर का शर्ट पहना है वो लोग साइड पे आ जाओ, दैट इज नोन एज व्हाट? आइसोलेशन फ्रॉम अ मास, right? So that particular phenomena, that is known as isolation. You are aware with all the technique. I'm not going to discuss about that, 4 flame and spread plate and streak plate and all those things, right? Another one that is known as a screening. Another one that is known as what? Screening. Now what is screening? Screening is basically a phenomena. Screening is basically a phenomena that what you try to do, you try to apply highly selective procedure. You try to apply what? Highly selective procedure, and with the help of this highly selective procedure, what you are going to do, you are going to carry out detection and isolation of only organism which are interested. आपको जो चाहिए ऐसे डिजायर ऑर्गेनिज्म को आप सेपरेट करोगे. That particular phenomena, that is known as what? Screening. What you try to do? You try to carry out the sorting of desired organism from a large microbial population. Right? That particular phenomena, that is known as a screening. Now, whatever the screening is there, that is classified into 2 types, primary and the secondary. I'm not going in detail, but these are the number of examples are there of primary screening, right? What you try to do, you try to carry out a selection of those organisms who possess the potential industrial application. आपको सिर्फ ऐसे और ऐसे organism चाहिए जिसके पास कोई industrial application हो, organic acid बनाने की, antibiotic बनाने की, enzyme बनाने की. That particular phenomena, that is known as what? Primary screening. You are aware with this example. I'm not going in detail. Calcium carbonate, zone of solubilization. I hope you have studied this one, right? So that particular one, that is known as a isolation and screening of organic acid producing bacteria. Another one, that is known as a secondary screening. Now what you try to do over here, you try to check the capabilities of microbes. किसके लिए? To produce the desired product. You try to check the capability of the microbes to produce the desired product. That particular phenomena, that is known as what? Screening. That particular phenomena, that is known as what? Secondary screening. Right? You are having this particular question. One question was asked in an exam. You wanted to isolate the industrial input organism which are going to produce the antibiotic. Which method you will utilize? Which method you will utilize?
Serial dilution.
No. No. You wanted to isolate the industrially important antibiotic producing organism. I am using the word antibiotic. Ria, can you give the logic behind this? Ria, can you give the logic behind this? Your answer. Yes, on a YouTube, the answer has been written by Dimple. See, there are many situations are there where the 2 answers are there. One is a displate method. Another option is a crowded plate. These are the 2 correct answers. Displate and crowded plate. These are 2 correct answers. Right? Try to understand. Whatever the crowded plate is there, the name itself suggests crowded. The plate is crowded. But जो भी organism antibiotic produce करेगा ना, उसके नजदीक में क्या हो जाएगा? Near to that, the zone is going to create. Yes, that
zone of inhibition.
Zone of inhibition. Yes, very good, very good. Right. So that is one method. Another is displate method. In that case, you are going to put the disc which contain the antibiotic, and it will not allow the growth of organism. So try to understand. There are many situations are there where this kind of a questions are there. You write either of them. दोनों में से कोई भी एक लिखोगे, answer will be right. Right? Yes, clear zone is there. Okay. This is another example of secondary screening. You are aware with this media. कौन सा media है? यहाँ पे pink color colony. Very quick answer. I require very quick answer. Pink color colony. The media color is pink. No, sorry. You are able to see the 2 different kind of colony. It's not rose bengal Ria. You see the name of organism. Rose bengal आप किसके लिए use करते हो? Yes, yes, yes. Their answer. I'm getting answer on a YouTube. Fine. So try to understand that this is a particular media which is known as a mannitol salt agar, and this particular media you can utilize for a growth of halotolerant bacteria. You can utilize it for a growth of halotolerant bacteria. Macon key is there, and you utilize the Macon key, yes, for the purpose of a separation of gram positive and gram negative. Utilize it, right? There was a question available for a differentiate lactose fermenter and non-fermenter. What is the answer? Yes, answer is Macon key. Many of you have written. No, it is not all of this. Okay, Ravi, you are lagging behind, I think. Okay, so that particular thing is clear, I hope, in your mind. Macon key agar utilized for differentiate between the lactose fermenter and non-fermenter. That is example of secondary screening. Yes, it changed the pH. Very good answer. Another very important point from where the maximum questions you are asking, that is a strain improvement. The meaning of an improve is what? The meaning of an improve is what? Whatever the existing parameter is there, you require to make it more better. That is the meaning of an improvement, right? So what you try to do, you try to make the things improve. And what do you mean by word strain? What is the meaning of a strain? Strain are same species, but they are having different function. Can you give the example? Can you give the example? Strain are same species, but they are having what? Different function. Can you give the example of strain? Can you give me the example of strain? Okay, I will give you. You are aware with this E. coli. One E. coli, which is, yes, EcoR1. EcoR1 is a restriction enzyme. Kajal, you should not write the word EcoR1. EcoR1 is a restriction enzyme. We are talking about the organism, right? E. coli is absolute perfect answer. Now you are able to see in this particular image over here, whatever your E. coli is there, this particular E. coli, it possesses the number of strain. Number of strain includes what? Normal E. coli strain, which is a harmless strain. Now you are having a different strain, pathogenic strain, right? Which are responsible for causing a diarrhea. Some of them, they are extremely pathogenic, which are responsible for causing a food poisoning, right? So there are different strains are there. All of them, they are known as what? E. coli. So that is the meaning of word strain. Okay. Now you can prepare the strain. These are the different approach are there. There are different approach are there. By means you can prepare the strain. I'm not going to discuss all of them. I'm only going to discuss some of them which are important for your exam point of view. Okay. The question was asked. Protoplast can be prepared from gram positive, gram negative, both A and B, none of them. You can prepare the protoplast from. I require the answer. Okay, Ketendra has given the answer C. Okay, fine. I'm trying to explain to you, then we again come to this particular point. ये चीज जरूरी है समझाने के लिए. I'm coming to that point and then we are going to discuss the things again. Okay. Now there are two species of organisms are there. One is gram positive, another is gram negative. When you talk about the gram positive organism, this particular gram positive are those kind of organism who possess inside them thin layer of cell wall, right? Whereas your gram negative, their layer is large, right? Now try to understand what you try to do. Whatever these protoplasts are there, these protoplasts are basically known as what? Cell without the cell wall. Cell without the cell wall. But do remember, एक चीज याद रखना हमेशा के लिए. Do remember one thing very clearly, that whenever you remove the cell wall from gram negative organism, that one is known as what? Spheroplast. That one is known as what? Spheroplast. And whenever you remove the cell wall from gram positive organism, that one is known as a protoplast. समझना. Specifically जब gram positive या negative की बात होगी तभी बात कर रहे हैं, right? In general, both of them you can use the word protoplast. लेकिन ऐसा specifically आपको पूछा कि when you remove the cell wall from gram positive organism or gram negative organism, then the answer is going to differ. Then the answer will be differ. So try to understand that whatever this particular spheroplast are there, these spheroplasts are going to prepare from the gram-negative organism. I hope the words are clear, everyone, in your mind. I require the response. The words are clear, right? Now, again, we go to the previous question. Now, what is the answer? Protoplast can be prepared from? Protoplast can be prepared from? Shweta, मैंने क्या बताया अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बेटा?
Gram-positive bacteria.
Yes. Yajurva, you got the point? C. I hope the YouTube students, you also obtain the answer. Dimple, still it is not A answer. The answer should be C. मैं वापिस repeat कर रहा हूँ. Yes, I am repeating Janvi one more time. Try to understand. Protoplast is what? How you can define the protoplast? You can define the protoplast as cell without cell wall. Yes, Harsh, it is easy to remember. Cell without cell wall, is it easy to remember? Protoplast are, that is clear. लेकिन आपको स्पेसिफिकली क्वेश्चन पूछा कि जब हम ग्राम नेगेटिव ऑर्गेनिज्म की सेल वॉल को रिमूव कर देंगे तो क्या बनेगा? आपको ऑप्शन दिया है प्रोटोप्लास्ट, आपको ऑप्शन दिया है स्फीरोप्लास्ट, आपको दोनों. What will you write? What will you write? ग्राम नेगेटिव की सेल वॉल को हमने रिमूव कर दिया. What will be going to prepare? What? Spheroplast. Then you are going to give the answer spheroplast. I hope my words are clear, right? Yes, Yajurva, you can create protoplast from any cell. Yes, yes, exactly. There you are, Yajurva. But we'll go to the question. Okay. Now what will be the answer? Read one more time after this discussion, क्योंकि मुझे पता है ये चीज स्टूडेंट को बहुत कंफ्यूज करती है. Now what will be the answer? क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा है? Protoplast can be prepared from. Now what will be the answer? I require the answer. Yes, Janvi, Jigisha, Ria, Kinjal. Yes, Rukshar on a YouTube. Good answer. Yes, Shweta, Rupam. I hope the words are clear, right? So you can prepare the protoplast from both, but spheroplast की बात आएगी तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ क्या बोलेंगे आप? ग्राम नेगेटिव, right? So that is about this particular one. Okay. Now one more thing is there. जहां से बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन आते हैं, सर हम फर्मेंटेशन पढ़ रहे हो और आप क्या दिखा रहे हो? You are showing us a dish. Okay, there are two dishes are available. One dish that is known as a full dish. गुजराती full dish आपको यहाँ पे दिख रही है. There is also a dish, but this is not full one, partial one. Right? This is not full one. This is a partial one. You are able to see two different kind of dish. Now, on the base of this, I just wanted to make a clear in your mind a concept of a mutant. There are two kind of mutant. What is mutant? First of all, okay, what is mutation? Pehle, what is mutation?
Sudden change.
Where change is okay, it's half-hearted answer. कैसा change होगा? कैसा change होगा? Sudden change in gene, that is okay, which is hereditary. Alteration nucleotide, okay. That particular phenomena, that is known as a mutation. Okay. What is mutant? What is mutant? Yes, which is mutated. Very good answer, Ria. Which is mutated. Now try to understand. मैं आपको दो concept समझाना चाहता हूँ. One concept that is known as auxotrophic mutant. Another is prototrophic mutant. Okay. We'll first talk about the auxotrophic mutant. What are auxotroph? Those organisms who require the complete media for the growth. कैसा मीडिया चाहिए? Complete. Full dish चाहिए खाने के लिए. क्या चाहिए? Full dish चाहिए खाने के लिए. They are known as what? Auxotroph. अगर इसमें से कुछ भी नहीं होगा ना, वो नाराज हो जाएगा, वो ग्रो नहीं होगा. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग माई वर्ड्स. मैं जो समझाना चाहता हूं आपको पता चल रहा है. अगर इसमें से कुछ नहीं होगा, देन दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू ग्रो. उनको बुरा लग जाएगा. दे आर नोन एज व्हाट? ऑक्सोट्रॉफिक म्यूटेंट. अनदर वन आर नोन एज अ प्रोटोट्रॉप्स. दे आर गोइंग टू सर्वाइव व्हेनेवर द लिमिटेड अमाउंट ऑफ मीडिया इज अवेलेबल. कुछ नहीं भी है, ये दूसरी प्लेट आप दिख रहे हैं जहां पे मेरा टर्सर घूम रहा है. अगर लिमिटेड चीज भी वहां पे अवेलेबल है, then they are going to survive. They are known as a prototroph mutant. You are getting my word, everyone? मेरी बात पता चल रही है? Okay, so that particular phenomena that is known as a auxotroph and prototroph. अब थोड़े example पे हम जाएंगे. Okay, now what are the auxotroph, as I told you, which require the complete nutrient for their growth? आपको सिर्फ ये image याद रख लेनी है. You require to remember this image. Who require the complete? Those who require a limited amount of food for their growth purpose, they are known as the prototrophs. Now we see this particular image. हम ये image देखते हैं. What is going to happen? You are adding the media into the plate. हम detail में नहीं जा रहे हैं. Some of them are going to grow and some of them are not going to survive. कौन grow हो रहा है? Prototrophs are growing. Auxotrophs are not going to grow. Why? Auxotrophs are not going to grow. Why? Because they are not able to survive in a limited media. ये media कैसा है? Adenine less media है, उसके अंदर adenine नहीं available है. I hope you are getting my point. I hope you are getting my point. So that particular one, from this particular part also, you are having a many question, right? So that phenomena that is known as the auxotrophs as well as the prototrophs about their mutation. One more part is there from where you are getting a question that is known as a media formulation. You are preparing a media for the growth purpose. Out of them, the most important part is a chelating agent. What do you mean by word chelating agent? What is the meaning of a word chelation? What do you mean by word chelation? You are aware with the EDTA, all of you. EDTA act is a what? Chelating agent, yes or no? EDTA is act as a chelating agent, yes or no? Okay, fine. What do you mean by word chelation? Yes, trap ion. The meaning of word chelation is bind to the ion. ये समझना याद रखना, क्योंकि जब कभी भी वाइवा के अंदर, इंटरव्यू के अंदर स्टूडेंट को क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं व्हाट डू यू मीन, व्हाट इज अ चिलेटिंग एजेंट, वो सीधा आंसर देते हैं EDTA. फिर दूसरा क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय वर्ड चिलेशन, तो लोगों को याद नहीं रहता है. द मीनिंग ऑफ वर्ड चिलेशन इज बाइंडिंग. द मीनिंग ऑफ वर्ड चिलेशन इज अ बाइंडिंग. यस, दे आर गोइंग टू रैप अराउंड द मेटल आयन. वेरी गुड आंसर, हर्ष मेहता. Right, okay. In a fermentation media, we can utilize a different kind of thing. There are certain media are there which are known as a synthetic media. Some of the media which are known as a crude media. Synthetic media which you are preparing by yourself, you can sterilize them. Crude media, there is difficulty in knowing the composition of those media. What you can do, you can perform the sterilization of all these kind of media. It is very important part. If you are not going to perform the sterilization by all these means, autoclaving, boiling and passing the steam, then they are not going to work out and you are going to lose the media. अगर आपके media का loss होता है at the industry level, you are going to lose the things, right? And your industry will be there in a loss, right? So that particular thing that is known as a fermentation media. Another important thing you require, and that particular thing that is known as the oxygen source. Now whatever the oxygen source is there, this particular oxygen source we are not providing separately. मैंने आगे भी आपको बताया था, हम ऑक्सीजन डायरेक्टली मीडिया फर्मेंटर के अंदर नहीं डालते हैं. व्हाट वी आर एडिंग एयर. ऑर्गेनिज्म क्या करेंगे, वो एयर में से ऑक्सीजन को लेंगे, लेकिन ऑक्सीजन हम कैसे दे रहे हैं? वी आर प्रोवाइडेड अलोंग विद द वाटर. We are provided along with the water. Do remember this particular one. And these are the organisms which are obligatory aerobic. उनको compulsory oxygen चाहिए तो ही वो survive होंगे. Otherwise they are not going to survive. Right? So on the basis of oxygen, you can classify the fermentation into two parts. One is aerobic. Another one is anaerobic. Aerobic, you are aware with the fact it requires the air basically. An example is antibiotic, enzymes and vitamins. They are a part of aerobic fermentation. Another one is anaerobic, where you are performing the lactic acid, ethanol, as well as a wine fermentation. So they come under the category of anaerobic fermentation. On the basis of process, the fermentation is classified into three categories: batch, fed batch, and continuous. Batch, fed batch, and continuous. मैं batch और continuous आप लोगों को पता है, right? But fed batch, why the name fed batch has been given? I wanted to discuss that part because that is a concept-wise, that is an important one. Yes, we are giving the air by the means of sparger. Rukshar, right answer. Okay, what do you mean by word fed batch? ऐसा नाम क्यों दिया है? I wanted that particular answer from you people. Yes, we are giving the feed. We are giving the feed at the regular interval, and that's why the name has been given as a fed batch. वहां collection नहीं होता है. Batch के अंदर क्या होता है? You are adding the substrate, you are adding the organism, you are collecting the product after the completion. Continuous में क्या होता है? From one side you are continuously adding the input, from another side you are collecting a product. Fed batch के अंदर क्या होता है, you are just giving the input, आप feeding दे रहे हो, you are giving the feeding, right? Whatever the feeding you are giving, that is a food for organism, लेकिन you are not collecting the product. That's why the name is given what? Fed batch. I hope the words are clear in the mind of everyone. That particular one, that is known as a fed batch fermentation. Are you getting my point, students? Okay, fine. One more is there, that is known as a solid state fermentation. The meaning of a solid state, what we try to do, we try to perform a fermentation by taking a solid media. We try to perform the fermentation by taking a solid media. Solid media means what? That media contain the moisture, right? That media contain a moisture. Completely liquid media nahi hai. We are taking the solid media, that is available on a support, just like a tray. You are able to see perforated kind of a trays are available. It is moisture and you can utilize that particular one for the purpose of a fermentation. Lekin wo solid mein available hai, that's why it is known as what? Solid state fermentation, right? Okay, one more question which is very important. Many times people are asking the question which is known as industrial alcohol will be produced by utilizing what kind of a yeast culture? Top, middle, bottom, feeder. I require the answer from you people. अगर आप इंडस्ट्री लेवल पे अल्कोहल प्रोड्यूस करना चाहते हो, व्हाट टाइप ऑफ यीस्ट कल्चर यू यूटिलाइज? टॉप, मिडल, बॉटम और फीडर? व्हाट काइंड ऑफ यीस्ट यू विल यूटिलाइज? यस, यू कैन से, श्वेता. Cheese processing you can also utilize for a production of spirulina. Whatever the spirulina is there, that spirulina is also produced by this particular activity, right? So you can utilize solid state for that. Okay, my another question is on a type of yeast. Okay, Ruksar has given the answer middle. I am asking a question to the students who are there on a Zoom. Okay, just try to understand that whatever the yeast are there, this yeast you are utilizing, and normally the yeast which is available on a top, which utilize for the production of a LE kind of a product, they are known as a top fermenting yeast. The best example is a common yeast which we are utilizing, that is the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. And some of the yeast which are settle on a bottom and still they are fermenting your alcohol, producing the alcohol, they are known as a bottom fermenting yeast, Saccharomyces pastorius. So these are the example of a top fermenting as well as a bottom fermenting yeast, right? Yes, ledger. Okay, one more question was asked in some of the examination. You are able to read it. In alcohol fermentation, CO2 is evolved during. At which particular stage CO2 is forming? At which particular stage CO2 is forming? Decarboxylation of pyruvic acid, then formation of acetaldehyde, none, both A and B. At which level? A, D. Okay. Okay, I would like to show you the image. You are going to get the idea. You are able to see the image. Decarboxylation का मतलब क्या होता है? Removal of carbon dioxide, right? Removal of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide कब जाएगा? Whenever there is a conversion of, yes, whenever there is a conversion of pyruvate into acetaldehyde, you are able to see. So what will be the answer? What will be the answer? Pyruvate में से क्या बन रहा है? Acetaldehyde. Question के अंदर ऑप्शन क्या दिए है? For decarboxylation of pyruvic acid, formation of acetaldehyde. What will be the answer? Answer will be a yes. Its answer is D. Both A and B नहीं आएगा. Yes, the answer is D. Both A and B. Yes, yes, Sweta, you are right. Right? The answer is D. I hope you are able to understand the point. Okay. Now there are certain products are there which are very important. जहाँ से example exam में question आया है. The most important one is antibiotic. What is antibiotic? What is antibiotic? How you can define the antibiotic? एक वर्ड आना चाहिए, डेफिनेशन लिखनी जरूरी नहीं है, लेकिन डू रिमेंबर व्हेनेवर यू आर डिफाइनिंग द एंटीबायोटिक, डू रिमेंबर द वर्ड सेकेंडरी मेटाबोलाइट्स. ये वर्ड आना जरूरी है. If you are not writing the word secondary metabolites in definition of antibiotic, then the purpose is not going to solve. Then the purpose is not going to solve. So you need to remember this word secondary metabolites, which produced by one organism inhibit the growth of another organism. That particular one is known as a antibiotic. The most common one, the questions you are going to obtain from a penicillin fermentation, or uske liye you require to remember this particular phenomena. Right? Okay. When you work for a downstream, you try to work in this way. You try to separate the insoluble, you try to perform the extraction, purification, and polishing. All these words are going to work out, right? And you are ultimately going to perform the growth, you are going to perform the downstream process. So that particular phenomena, that is known as a downstream. Gram positive negative की हमने बात कर ली है. You are clear in a structure, right? Only difference is that this is about the outer membrane. You are able to see gram positive ज्यादा क्या होगा उसके अंदर, पॉजिटिव नाम है तो ज्यादा क्या होगा, पेप्टिडोग्लाइकन. आई होप द वर्ड्स आर क्लियर. नेगेटिव के अंदर क्या ज्यादा होगा, लिपिड ज्यादा होगा, उसके अंदर पेप्टिडोग्लाइकन कम होगा. यू आर एबल टू सी फ्रॉम अ इमेज. कैसे याद रखना है लाइफ टाइम के लिए, पॉजिटिव मोर पेप्टिडोग्लाइकन. जैसे याद रखा ना, पॉजिटिव में से प्रोटोप्लास्ट बनेगा, नेगेटिव में से स्फीरोप्लास्ट बनेगा. सेम वे पॉजिटिव मोर पेप्टिडोग्लाइकन, राइट, नेगेटिव लेस पेप्टिडोग्लाइकन. लेकिन दूसरा क्या ज्यादा है नेगेटिव के अंदर, यू आर हैविंग अ मोर अमाउंट ऑफ लिपिड. सो दैट इज अ बेसिक डिफरेंस अवेलेबल. If your organism possesses the cell wall, then what you require to remove that cell wall, and you can remove the cell wall by the means of various kind of cell disruption method. मैं सबकी बात नहीं करूंगा. These are the various methods available, right? You can perform the purification by the means of all this kind of activity: coagulation and extraction, precipitation, centrifugation, flocculation. You are adding the flocculating agent. Basically they bind with the soil particle who are carrying the negatively charged. एक सिंपल एग्जांपल मैं देता हूं. यू आर अवेयर विद द एलम, एल्यूमिनियम फॉस्फेट, जिसको हम गुजराती में फटकड़ी बोलते हैं, राइट? दैट इज गोइंग टू परफॉर्म दिस एक्टिविटी, राइट? व्हेन यू ऐड दिस वन, अल्टीमेटली दे बाइंड, दे आर गोइंग टू बिकम अ हेवियर. Your soil particle possess the negative charge and everything is going to get settled down. So this is how you are able to perform this particular coagulation. Flocculation, you are utilizing this kind of a polymeric breach, and they combine with each other, and as a result of that, that weight is going to increase and they try to settle down. So that particular one, that is known as a flocculation. This is how it is going to work out, flocculation. Another one, liquid extraction. You can carry out the extraction of one liquid by the means of another liquid. मैं simple example देता हूं. You are having a teaspoon of sugar, और वो teaspoon of sugar आप ऐड कर रहे हो ऑयल के अंदर. अब इसको रिकवर करनी है. How will you do that? कहां के चली गई आपकी सुगर जो थी टेबल स्पून में, एक टेबल स्पून सुगर आपने कहां डाल दिया, ऑयल के अंदर. अब ऑयल, सुगर इज नॉट गोइंग टू मिक्स अप विद द ऑयल. सुगर और ऑयल का मिक्सअप नहीं होगा. There will be no mix-up is going to occur between the sugar and oil. So what is going to happen? You are going to add the water. Water को add करने के बाद आप क्या करेंगे? You are able to see that this particular water is going to mix up with the sugar. So whatever the sugars are there, that sugar is going to get dissolved in a water, and your oil is going to remain separate, right? थोड़े टाइम के बाद. So that is how you are going to perform this extraction, and that is known as a liquid extraction. That is known as a liquid extraction. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट वन, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन इसके अंदर से आते हैं. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस अवेलेबल बिटवीन द डिफ्यूजन एंड ऑस्मोसिस? ओनली वन डिफरेंस. डू रिमेंबर, ऑस्मोसिस possess a membrane. दोनों में मूवमेंट से होगी, हायर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. One is going to occur naturally and fast. Another is going to occur slowly, but it requires the membrane. So that is a basic difference available between the डिफ्यूजन एंड ऑस्मोसिस. ये पता चल रहा है आप लोगों को? ये सेमी परमेबल मेम्ब्रेन. आर यू विथ मी? मैं थोड़ा फास्ट जा रहा हूं. आई एम गेटिंग द पॉइंट. मुझे पता है कि मेरी स्पीड थोड़ी बढ़ गई है, बट आई रिक्वायर टू कंप्लीट बाय 4. दैट्स व्हाई, राइट, आई एम गोइंग. जहां कभी आपको कोई भी डाउट हो, यू कैन स्टॉप मी, यू कैन डेफिनेटली आस्क मी अ क्वेश्चन. आई एम ऑलवेज ओपन फॉर अ डिस्कशन, right? So that particular phenomena, that is a difference available between the diffusion and osmosis. There is a image. I'm not going in detail. Reverse osmosis में आप क्या लगाते हो? You are putting a vacuum pump. That's why it is known as a reverse osmosis. I hope the words are clear. Osmosis पता चल गया. Reverse क्या होगा? You are putting a vacuum pump. So the direction of movement is going to occur in a opposite manner. दिस इज नॉर्मल, आप पहली इमेज में देख रहे हो, फ्रेश वाटर है, सलाइन वाटर है, सेमी परमेबल मेम्ब्रेन है, मूवमेंट इज गोइंग टू अकर लाइक दिस. बट रिवर्स में क्या होगा? इट इज गोइंग टू अकर इन रिवर्स डायरेक्शन. सो दैट पर्टिकुलर फिनोमिना दैट इज नोन एज अ रिवर्स ऑस्मोसिस. एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट है एंड दैट इज नोन एज अल्ट्रा फिल्ट्रेशन. और उसके अंदर आपको ये वर्ड याद रखना है, दैट इज नोन एज MWCO. MWCO stands for what? It's a molecular weight cutoff. हम क्वेश्चन बाद में डिस्कस करेंगे जो ऊपर लिखा हुआ है. आई एम जस्ट asking you to understand the word molecular weight cutoff. Whatever the ultrafiltration devices are there, they are working on a concept of molecular weight cutoff value. What is molecular weight cutoff? It is a pore size. It is a pore size and it is a retention capability of the membrane. That means कितना कम से कम molecular weight वो प्रिवेंट कर सकता है, वो रिटेन कर सकता है. That particular one that is known as what? Molecular weight cutoff. उसका मतलब क्या हुआ? जो मेम्ब्रेन है वो कौन से मोलेक्यूल को एंट्री देती है पास होने के लिए और कौन किसको रोकती है, राइट? दैट पर्टिकुलर वन दैट इज नोन एज द मोलेक्युलर वेट कट ऑफ. यू ट्राई टू एनालाइज द वर्ड मोलेक्युलर वेट कट ऑफ. कट ऑफ का मतलब क्या है? हम एडमिशन लेते हैं हायर स्टडीज के लिए, तब कट ऑफ मार्क डिस्कस होता है. कट ऑफ का मतलब क्या है? उसके नीचे वाले अलाउ नहीं है. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग माई वर्ड. मेरी बात पता चल रही है? Okay, fine. Thank you, Janvi. Thank you, Riya. So that particular one that is known as a cutoff. Now go for this particular question. MWCO generally represents what it is. MWCO क्या बताएगा? Lowest molecular weight, highest, average, smallest. Yes, it's a lowest. It's a lowest, right? It's a lowest one, right? So that is appropriate answer. Okay, this is a one particular filter जहां से भी क्वेश्चन आते हैं आपको बार बार आते हैं. This is known as a rotary vacuum filter. रोटेशन करके अंदर वैक्यूम जनरेट किया हुआ है and the filtration is going to occur over here. The knife or string is available which is going to remove this particular one, and this blue color one that is known as a filter cake. That is known as a filter cake. So this is one of the important portion that is known as a rotary vacuum filter. One more centrifuge is that from which the questions are asked, and that particular one that is known as a basket centrifuge. Basket centrifuge दो पर्पस से काम करेगा. One, it is going to perform the filtration. Another one is going to perform the centrifugation. So जो separation यहाँ पे होगा that is going to occur by both the approach. Okay, secondary metabolite के बारे में हमने बात कर ली है. I am not going to discuss much, but I told you do remember one word that is a secondary metabolites. जब कभी भी आप बात करेंगे that particular one is always a part of a definition of your antibiotic. वहां पे आपको इसको यूज करना पड़ेगा. हाउ दिस एंटीबायोटिक इज गोइंग टू एक्ट? दे आर बेसिकली गोइंग टू ब्रेक द पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड, राइट? पेप्टाइड क्रॉस लिंकिंग इज देयर दैट इज अवेलेबल बिटवीन दिस NAG and NAM residue peptidoglycan, and that it try to break your penicillin antibiotic. वो always gram positive organism पे काम करेगी. ये याद रखना, पेनिसिलिन एंटीबायोटिक कहां पे वर्क करती है? इट इज ऑलवेज वर्किंग ऑन ग्राम पॉजिटिव ऑर्गेनिज्म. भूलना मत, राइट? How it is going to work? It will break down the peptidoglycan. ये जो peptidoglycan का जो bridge है, it will try to break this particular one, right? Peptidoglycan, polysaccharide, right? Long chain of monosaccharide. It try to break this cross linking. ये cross linking break हो जाएगी, सेल का ग्रोथ बंद हो जाएगा. सेल जो अभी आपको ऐसा दिख रहा है, it will try to die like this, right? So that is how it is going to work. Yes, beta lactam category. That is how it is going to work out. One more question which is asked normally. That is one more product, and that is known as the insulin. You are aware with the insulin, it is basically a polypeptide hormone made up of 51 amino acid, and there are two chains are there, A chain, B chain. A chain is made up of a 21 amino acid, B chain is made up of a 30 amino acids, and they are having a disulfide linkage. Disulfide linkage किसके बीच में होगा? Very quick question. Disulfide linkage किसके बीच में होगा? Very quickly. It is going to occur between what? Sulfide. Yes, cysteine amino acid. Whenever there is a sulfide available, that one is going to work out, right? Okay, fine. So that is there. This is how it looks like. You are able to see the sulfur, cysteine amino acid most probably. Okay. Do remember, whatever the gene for insulin is there, it is available. That gene is known as the INS gene. It is located on a short arm of chromosome number 11. ये याद रखना. वाइवा के लिए ऑब्जेक्टिव के लिए ये चीज याद रखना, वेयर द व्हाट इज द जीन नंबर ऑफ इंसुलिन, द जीन इज नोन एज INS जीन, कहां पे अवेलेबल है, शॉर्ट आर्म ऑफ क्रोमोसोम नंबर 11 पे, वहां पे इंसुलिन का जीन अवेलेबल है, राइट? यू आर अवेयर, यू आर हैविंग द दिस recombinant DNA technology and you synthesize the insulin with the help of this and you try to produce the thing. So this is all from my side. I have moved several slides very quickly, but do remember there are number of things are there which I supposed to discuss with you people, but do remember whenever you are appearing for any kind of entrance examination, you require a clear concept with basic. Jitna aapka basic acha hoga, more benefit you are going to obtain. So that's it from my side. If you have any question, I am always ready for the discussion. You can ask me a question by the means of chat box. You can unmute yourself and you can ask definitely. Okay, Rushkar, you are always welcome. Yajurva, you are welcome. I'll be more delighted if you ask me a question. Any question related to your entrance examination, related to a fermentation, bioprocess, anything. I'm ready to discuss. Yes, welcome Hitesh. Welcome Yajurva. Welcome Riya. Yes, welcome Rupam. Okay, so I think there is no question available from your side. I hope you have got the point. Thank you very much for your kind attention as well as the interactive participation. I would like to thank the organizer. Yes, Sweta, I will explain the type of yeast above or below media. Basically, there are two types of yeast are there, top fermenting and bottom fermenting, right? The meaning of top fermenting, these are the yeast who are always going to remain on a top. Top means जो आपका media की bottle होगी, they will always stay on a top. Why they're staying on a top? Two reasons. Reason number one, these are the yeast who require the little amount of air. They are not aerobic one. They require the little amount of air. So they are always going to stay on the top of the bottle. And what they try to do, they try to carry out the conversion of sugar into alcohol. Normally acid type, right? An example is your Saccharomyces cerevisiae. You can use the word microaerophilic. Yes. You can use the word microaerophilic, right? Another one, which are always going to stay on a bottom. The reason is that they are completely anaerobic and their biomass, their weight is high. So they are going to settle down at the bottom and they are not going to grow in the presence of oxygen. So they are known as a kind of a yeast which are going to remain on the bottom and they are known as a bottom fermenting yeast. Example is Saccharomyces pastoris. I hope you got the answer, Shweta. Thank you for response. There is no word like Middle East. To be very appropriate with you, Rushkar Ansari, you are asking on a YouTube. There is no word like this particular one, which is known as Middle East, right? There are only two types of yeast are available, top and bottom fermenting. Yes, there are yeast which are going to carry out the lactic acid, other acid fermentation. Yes, yes. Tinkle, there are yeast available. They are going to carry out the fermentation. There are number of yeast are there who are working besides the production of alcohol and lactic acid. You can utilize it for a different purpose also, right? So there are yeast are there and there are products are there. It is just to make you confuse. It is just to make you confuse, Rushkar. Okay, I hope the Pinkal you got the answer. Fine, so that's it from my side. Still, we are having a 1 more minute. You have any question, we can definitely discuss. My pleasure, Riya. It's my pleasure. Okay, so I'm stopping my sharing of a screen.
Thank you, Dr. Darshan Marjadi. It was a really very interactive and informative session. I'm sure the students must have benefited greatly from your talk. And once again, thank you for accepting our invitation and delivering this particular lecture, which is very important from the CSIR-NET point of view. Thank you, sir, once again.
Yes. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much,
Thank
all
you.
the students. You can reach out to me by writing an email. And my mail ID, I'm writing in a chat box. Anytime you can contact me for any kind of a doubt. I'm happy to share and I'm happy to inform you the things.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Participants, we will meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the next session of 25th October. Okay. Till then, have a good day.
आइए सब निकल रहे